welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show, the show where we have everything and all things sports for you. We're very similar to the NCAA in that we don't pay the people that are participating in this, and the thing that we have different from them is that we actually have morals. So take that into effect, ladies and gentlemen. Don't look at me like that, Tom. Don't even look at me like that at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Valentin, and I'm going to be your host for this show, as I am always, because I don't die. And next to me, of course, is the man who is no longer sporting the big hairy beard anymore, but he's still rocking his hockey stuff and the Notre Dame gear. It's Mr. Tom McKinney. Tom.
Hey.
Welcome back, man. How you doing today?
What up, man? Why aren't you wearing why you gotta wear a Chicago hat?
What are you talking about?
Like
Why?
it's nice, but I expect the basketball ones out of you,
well,
especially right now.
I know. Well, look, it's one of those things where like people, they might ask, "Hey, where am I at?" So this way I can just like point to my hat and I can be like,
okay.
"Oh, it's just like you're here." Like
you just point you're in Notre Dame. It's only like 2 hours. You're fine there.
But that's the thing. You can't point your hat and be like you're here. Like I can do that. You got to be like
you're right here.
You have to be in
you're
South
either at
Bend.
Notre Dame, North Dakota, or Notre Dame. I win.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
How do you win?
I do.
How is this even a competition?
I don't know. But can we really talk about the competition in that snooker?
Oh, you mean the man who passed gas in the snooker competition? For those who don't know, that is a professional pool. British pool. Basically, a man. He just couldn't hold it in, I guess.
Yeah, and it was in the crowd. It wasn't like the guy actually like playing snooker. No, it was one of the fans watching. Dude, it looked like it was sold out.
Oh, it's so huge. I mean, even here in America, I mean, the crowds are this.
Like
standing.
bowling's another one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, those. Well, obviously when Brett was here, we talk about darts and you see those competitions.
Those
and
are
like,
British. The British darts.
But even still, it's like you're amazed.
Darts
at the
is
crowds.
a little bit different though.
But still, it's the crowds that come to those events. Like you don't think about those sports as being like ones that people would go to. You think about them as like bar stuff.
Well, not necessarily. Darts is the only one that's like bar stuff, and that's why the crowd's like it is.
Yeah.
But you look at like pool, which is a bar sport, but it doesn't. It's not acted like a bar sport.
Right.
You got to be quiet. It's almost like tennis.
Well, it used to be like a gentleman's game all the way back in the day. I mean,
it's like tennis. Same with what was the other one? We had darts, pool, and.
I'm thinking of like polo or something like that.
No, we had other ones besides darts and pool.
I'm blanking here. I don't know.
Well, I guess snooker's still pool, but yeah,
it's similar.
I mean, but then you look at like horseshoes and cornhole, like those are darts. Like those are the ones now that are taking over.
My favorites are still the arm wrestling competition. I don't know why. I just love seeing two dudes who are just jacked as ever trying to just physically destroy each other to pieces only by trying to slam the other's hand down. And by far, it's the crazy. Like I have seen, there have been fights that have broken out in that thing. It's insane.
Quote unquote, there is a sport.
Yeah, that's true.
The arm wrestling UFC, or you go chest box.
Yes, that's right. One of these days, we will get into the obscurity of the sports world. I promise you. We will do an entire show
next week
on the obscurity.
Next week.
Okay, if we can collect all those clips, we will definitely.
Down.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to pour into. Obviously, NCAA tournament, March Madness is officially here. We're pouring to that. We've got women's tournament as well we're going to talk about. And we're going to finish it off with some baseball talk for a big man in Anaheim. They got some pretty big money. So, Tom, you ready to talk about all this stuff?
Yeah,
man?
let's go.
All right, well, let's open it up. March Madness, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially here. That's right. Get your brackets
Come on,
out.
It's April Madness.
Well, okay.
Get out of here.
All right. Relax, will you? Jeez. March Madness is officially here. So make sure you fill out your brackets left and right, all that good stuff, because, man, this year, just like any year, anybody could win it, although there seem to be some strong favorites hanging all around. So I thought it would be good if we poured through a couple of these.
Well, first off,
yes.
You and me have each done our brackets.
Yes, we have.
You got yours available?
I do have mine available. Well, I thought we would use our brackets to kind of pour through these and talk about the different matchups. You know what I mean?
Which one do I have to use? Do I have to use the X-Bomb one or the other one I do?
Which I would say stick with your X-Bomb one, so because
that'll
be our official one.
I'll let you know in the other group.
Yeah. Fill in with your other one, little bits here and there.
Well, no, my other group, I'm just gonna finish it now. I have Duke and Tennessee in the championship, and I have Tennessee winning it.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Save that one when we get to the championship talk at the very end of all
I
this.
think the Xbox one is gonna baffle you.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start it off, man. Let's hit it. First one up, we're gonna start in the East Regional, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna start with obviously number 1 Duke is gonna face off against either
North Dakota, which that game is going on right now.
Yes.
Or about to start.
North Dakota State University against NC Central. So, Tom, I mean, is it even a matchup for either one of these two teams? I mean, obviously, anything can happen. We saw it last year. Virginia lost to a 16 seed, UMBC. Duke. But Duke is at full power, and
I hate it, but Duke.
That's the problem here. That team, and look, I'm a UNC fan, and it hurts me to say it, but this team it's loaded. Now, I think, though, they can be beat. They've shown a sense of weakness. And it's clear that when Zion's not playing, if he does get hurt again at some point, they're struggling a little bit. They're missing a key piece to their entire team. So I think they definitely can be beat, but I think it's going to be tough to fight off 4 freshmen right now who are looking like first-round draft picks. And obviously Zion's leading the charge. He may be the Naismith Player of the Year. I think I'm pretty sure it'll probably be a unanimous thing. But I got them definitely winning. I mean, Tom, do you have the? I mean, what do you? I'm assuming you probably have them winning in the first round.
Oh yeah.
So all right,
unless something bananas happens.
What percentage do you give like an NC Central or North Dakota State? Do you see any chance for those two teams to be able to dominate against or find a way to win against Duke? Not dominate, but win against Duke.
Obviously, right now they don't have the odds out because that game won't be till today, the 20th. It won't be till Saturday.
Yeah.
But I was hoping they would have like what Duke is favored by either, no matter what.
Yeah.
I like this seed factor really quick. Number 1 seeds are 135-1 against number 16 seeds, but that one loss came last year when UMBC shocked Virginia by 20 points.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't look past UMBC, baby.
Even though they don't have this is what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Even though first round the tournament challenge thing does game predictor powered by team rankings, decision tree for the two 16 seed teams. It's 1%. 99% for Duke, 100% for seed comparison, 100% for power ranking, and similar games, it's 98% to 2.
Jesus, yeah.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, I mean, look, for everybody, you'd be
stupid not to.
A lot of people are favoring them to win the national championship. I mean, every sports writer I've seen, for the most part, is pretty much picking them. Every other team is just coming in at a very low second. But I mean, Even if they do win this first game, going down the line in the tournament,
it's one and done.
There's always
it's one and done.
Exactly.
That's all you have to say. It's one and done. We saw it last year. We've seen it in many other things. It doesn't matter who. I mean, you've seen it in even best of 7 series.
Right.
Teams, quote unquote, the Kings a few years ago, they were an A seed. They got in there as a wild card, and they were just like, and all of a sudden they win the Stanley Cup. This happens. It's going to happen. Duke's been shocked before.
All you need is that one spark of energy, or you need that one run where you're going 10-0 against them, on a run, and you can have them. You can have them. Any team can have them. And I think it's going to come simply to keeping Zion outside and putting pressure on R.J. Barrett and making sure Cam Reddish gets the ball, because that guy's been horrendous shooting the ball. I don't know how he's still considered a lottery pick, but he hasn't been the star player. Cam Reddish, he's their number 3 guy in their system. I mean,
all right, well, let's stop talking about Duke.
Yeah. So next on this list, we've got number 8 VCU against number 9 UCF. Now, these are two teams who
This is a very tough one. I hate 8, 9 seeds.
This is very tough. VCU has been competitive through the run here. Now, they lost in the first round of their tournament, unfortunately for the A-10, but They still came out strong. They still finished the season strong in the regular season. Meanwhile, UCF, they've got the tallest player right now in the country, and one of my favorites in Taco Fall. Guy's 6'7", he's like 260. But here again, though, he's a little inconsistent, and if you're shooting from the outside, you can find a way to beat him. So this is going to be a tough matchup. But Tom,
I keep going back and forth on this, and now I just went back.
It's a tough
I've gone
fight.
from VCU to UCF, and now I've gone back to UCF, and it's just like...
Because this VCU team, remember, a couple years back, they went to the Final Four. They were one of those teams that were able to be a magical team.
I also have this problem where if the men's team is in and the women's team is in, I'll always pick them to win a couple games.
Yeah.
Depending on who they're playing. So like I got UCF and UCF's women's teams in there as well.
Exactly.
So it's like
it's
I'm just
tough.
gonna go UCF because one of those two teams are gonna win and it's gonna push me a little bit farther. And it's like, all right, well I'm gonna take the risk here.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. I like UCF, but even with a guy like
Back
Taco,
off his son, UCF though, dude. Like that football team though.
Yeah,
Should be national champions.
God, we're not getting into that one. No, I mean, even with Taco Fall being a tall player as he is, I mean, he's a great guy. I think he'll be like a second-round pick or whatever. But outside of that, though, I feel like VCU's got that momentum going for themselves. Even though they lost in that first round, they're a fighting team. They'll find a way to scrap. And also, too, I like the way they play their defense. But, then again, it always comes down to right now UCF is scoring 72 points a game. VCU scoring 71 points a game. So they're very close.
I hate 8-9
They're
seeds.
very close. It's very close, but I'm taking VCU. I just like the way that they play. All right, next.
By the way, for those seeds,
Yeah.
for that seed fact for
Yeah.
8 and 9, truly a 50-50 proposition as number 8 and number 9 seeds have split their 136 meetings since 1985.
Jeez.
So good luck. That's
Yeah.
that's
fun
the
with that
commercial that
pick.
they have on ESPN and stuff when they're flipping pencils into the ceiling and stuff.
Yes.
That's just for the 8 and 9 seed.
Pretty much. All right, well, next we have number 5, Mississippi State against number 12, Liberty. So Mississippi State is sporting a 23-10 record. Meanwhile, Liberty's got a 28-6 record.
I hate this seed too.
And this is tough too because number 5's for the last couple of years now, they've been getting upset more and more. I mean, you've been finding those teams that just can't find a way to win. So
Only 5 times since 1985 has at least one number 12 seed failed to defeat a 5 seed in a single tournament. But it's happened twice in the past 4 years, 98, 2000, 07, 15, and 18.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's you consider those numbers there, and it has to say to you, Liberty's a good team. They're scoring 74 points a game. They're shutting down their opponents to only 60 points a game. So they're staying strong on defense as well as offense. So
I don't think
count
it's
them
going to
out.
happen.
And right now, Mississippi State, they're scoring 77, but they're letting up 70 points a game.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think it'll happen?
No, I don't think Liberty could pull it out.
You know what?
Mississippi State's really good, though.
That is the thing though. Mississippi State right now, they're boasting a very long and fast team. Their guys are averaging around the 6'8", 6'9" mark, and each one of them has that 38, 40-inch vertical that can really
and
jump. And that's going to be
the
tough.
scary part, and that's why I don't think Liberty could pull this
Yeah.
out.
So I'm in the same bracket. You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go. I will say I think Liberty can maybe pull off the upset.
That's not the 5-12 seed I think is going to do it.
You don't think?
No,
All right.
we'll get into it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll say Liberty. I think can pull off the upset.
Now, is that what you're putting in your bracket, though?
That is what I'm putting in my bracket. I've got Liberty making the upset against Mississippi State.
You're wrong. It's not going to be that 5-12 seed.
right,
I'll
okay.
explain why later.
All right. So next we have Virginia Tech, number 4 Virginia Tech, against number 13 St. Louis University. Both teams have found ways to upset teams in the past in the tournament. Tom, what are you thinking?
Seed fact, at least one number 13 seed has beaten a number 4 seed in 24 of 34 years. Last year marked the 4th time that 2 13 seeds won the first round game in the same tournament. Also 87, 01, and 08.
Jeez, man. Yeah, this is going to be a tough fight. I mean,
unfortunately, not a chance that Virginia Tech loses to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Yeah, Virginia Tech has just been they got on a little bit of a roll there late in the season, and
and that's not the 12-5 seed that I picked. I mean, we'll go into it more when it comes to it, but
You mean the 4-13 seed?
no, we're on 4-13. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's 4 and 13.
Sorry, I looked at the wrong
No,
one.
yeah, you're fine. No, yeah, that team, and not only that too, but Virginia Tech's been known to get those fast players, and all of those guys have the ability to sprint down the court and be able to score very fast. So, I think St. Louis can stay with them, but I think eventually you're going to see Virginia Tech break away. I mean, unfortunately, both of these teams defensively, they've been strong, but it's Virginia Tech that's got the better offense. So I go with Virginia Tech,
Yeah,
too.
Virginia Tech all day.
Absolutely. All right, so next we have Maryland, number 6, versus Belmont, Number 11. Now this gets
Hold
interesting.
on.
So give me
seed fact. Number 11 seeds have won 8 of 12 meetings with number 6 seeds in the past 3 years. You want to start or you want me to start?
Do you go for it? Because we might be on the same agreement on this one.
Upset.
Yeah.
I have Belmont upsetting Maryland. I don't think Maryland's that good of a team, especially with some of their losses. I did the wrong thing. This year, they lost to Purdue, and Purdue's a really good team. Like, I understand the loss, but
right.
You lost by 5 to Virginia,
which isn't bad.
You lost by 4 to at Michigan State. You split with Wisconsin. You lost twice to Michigan. You beat Iowa by 1, and you lost to Minnesota twice.
No, they won twice against Minnesota.
Oh, won twice.
Yeah.
So the thing I look at is, yes, Belmont, their matchup they have is Purdue. They lost by 11, but they split with Murray State, and they swept Lincecum.
Yeah.
But it just comes back to I don't think Maryland's that good.
No, Belmont right now, I can tell you, here's the thing. They're averaging 87 points a game. They're one of the top scoring teams right now in the country. If not, I think they are the top scoring team in the country. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But 87 points a game, and Maryland is only supposed to be giving up 65 points a game on defense, but Belmont is so fast. They're so agile. And not only that, but they knock down their three-point shots like no tomorrow.
The team summary for Belmont, the Bruins may have been one of the last teams to make the field, but no one will want to play them. They are one of the most efficient offensive teams in the country, as they shoot 59% on 2-pointers, 37% on 3-pointers, and limit turnovers. Belmont is led by 6'8" Dylan Windler, 21.4 points per game.
A young man who's projected to go in the draft this year, possibly.
10.7 rebounds per game, and his three-point field goal percentage is 43%. Who is as versatile enough to beat you inside or out.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the thing is, like, I have them, too, being upset. And also, too, it's because Maryland, down the stretch, they just kept losing games, and they just didn't look like they were cohesive. So, to me, I think it's an easy fit. I think Belmont can go deep in this thing. I think they can go deep in this thing. I don't know if they can get past the Sweet 16, but I think they can get there.
Sweet 16,
I think they can get there.
No, the Elite 8.
The Elite 8?
They could technically get to the Elite 8.
Okay.
Because the bottom half isn't as strong, and there's one team in that top half that I always hate picking.
Yeah.
You know who it is.
Oh,
we don't get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they can get through that bottom half, they would meet Duke in the Elite 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's if Duke makes it that far.
Yeah, right.
Because as of right now, for that top half, I mean, really for me, I have Duke, UCF, Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, and I have Duke and Virginia Tech moving on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. So do I. I have them matching up against each other as well.
I have Duke in the Sweet 16.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And I'll stop it right there.
All right. So
no, I have Duke in the Elite 8.
Okay.
I have Duke going all the way to the Elite 8 right now.
Okay. Cool. All right. So next here we have LSU, number 3 versus number 14 Yale. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't know if LSU is 100% into it. I know they've got a good team right now, but because of the whole scandal situation with Will Wade, I think they might be a little shaken up. I don't think they were too shooken up when they were playing in the SEC tournament, but they didn't really look like themselves.
No,
towards the end there against.
Here's a fun fact for everybody out there. Number 3 seeds have won 84.6% of the meetings with number 14 seeds, and have swept all 4 meetings in back-to-back years for the first time since 2011-12.
Yep.
Yale's a scary team.
They're actually even. They're both even. If you look at their numbers.
Yale, it's that Ivy League school. If Yale was at number 12 seed, that might have been the one true. That might have been the one true 12 seed that I thought was for sure, because Harvard's been there several times.
Oh yeah, they always find a way.
And that's one team. If they were in this, would be like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
they're a 16 seed. I don't know about that anymore.
Well, no, you brought it up though. Those Ivy League schools, man, they play such solid basketball all the time.
They don't play teams like, it's almost like playing the military schools in football.
Yeah.
They almost run like a triple option out there.
Right.
And you're like, grr.
Well, they run that. It's that weird offense because Princeton, it's like the Princeton offense. That's really what it
Yeah,
is.
when
It's
it
like
was-
all the Ivy Leagues now run a form of what Princeton ran back in the day. So now that it's a weird offense where there's a lot of motion, a lot of outside shooting, and a lot of driving the ball in and being able to lay it up or alley-oops. I mean, they're scary. And if LSU isn't focused, they're going to lose this game. So they have to look past whatever scandal there is.
I have LSU winning that game, though.
I do too. I will say, but I'm hesitant still because it's one of those that I go back and forth on because Yale is averaging 81 points a game. LSU's averaging 81 points a game. Defensively, they're both averaging 73 points allowed. So they're pretty solid. They're pretty solid. They're pretty even. LSU's played better competition. They've got better players statistically. But Yale's more sound, it looks like right now, and they don't have anything to worry about. So
I think LSU's gonna win this game.
I will say LSU I think can win it though. As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now.
All right. So next we've got number 7 Louisville against number 10 Minnesota.
Seed fact: number 7 seeds have won 61.8% of the meetings with number 10 seeds, and have won 17 to 24 matchups, 71% since 2013.
Oh man. So what are you feeling, Tom? I mean, this
Louisville.
is Louisville all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It was hard to balance it out, but I do have to say Louisville, I think just because there's chemistry there, they've always been strong in the tournament. They always find a way to fight through. Yes, it's no longer Rick Pitino's team, but even still, this team found a way to fight through all that adversity and find a way to get to the tournament. Yeah. So I think there's something there. I give credit to Minnesota for getting here, but I just don't think that they have the firepower to deal with what Louisville's bringing to them. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat. All right, and lastly here, to finish it off in the East, we've got Michigan State number 2 against number 15, Illinois home Bradley.
All right, Peoria first off.
Peoria, thanks.
Number 2 seeds are 128-8 versus 15 seeds, 94.1%. With Michigan State's loss to Middle Tennessee in 2016, the only one in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I hate picking Michigan State. I absolutely hate it. Izzo is so inconsistent in postseason since he's won the championship.
Yeah, ever since he won the title, it's been a while.
I have, in this bracket at least, I have Michigan State winning, beating Bradley. I just don't think Bradley's all that good.
Well,
I mean, they're good, but
I will say this: there are just really quickly. There are rumors that it came out that Bradley's not all that consistent in the locker room. Apparently, there's some in-house fighting going on, and the coach is also one of those guys who's kind of like, I hear the fighting, but I'm not really gonna care about it. Now, I can't speak to how true those rumors are, but that's sort of the word that's been sort of circulating around within the sources that are within the internet. There's a lot of talk that Bradley may not be as cohesive as we like to
neither
believe.
is Michigan State.
No,
but they're a 2 seed because they're Michigan State and it's Tom Izzo.
Right.
Again, though, I have Michigan State winning, and that's it.
Yeah,
I hate picking Tom Izzo.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't like Michigan State either, but I have to pick them. I just think they're a dominant team right now. They finished out strong, and I think they're going to be able to find a way to. They'll go pretty deep and far in the tournament, I think.
So to finish off the East for me up to the Elite Eight, I have LSU beating Belmont. I have Louisville beating Michigan State. I have Louisville beating LSU. Okay. And I have Duke and LSU or Louisville. I have Duke and Louisville in the Elite Eight of the East.
All the way up until I have Michigan State. I have LSU beating Belmont. I have Michigan State beating Louisville, and then I have Michigan State beating LSU to get there, and then obviously Duke beats Virginia to go there for the Elite Eight. So that's where I've got.
So your Elite Eight is Duke, Michigan State.
Yep.
And mine's Duke, Louisville.
Yep.
All right. So we're going west.
No, now we go south.
Oh, we're going south next. Oh, okay.
All right. Ready to do this?
Makes sense.
All right. Yeah. Number 1, Virginia.
This was difficult.
Versus number 16, Gardner-Webb. Now, last year they were the talk of the tournament.
Do you think they were praying that somehow UMBC didn't get in?
Oh, I bet they were coming in with clenched hands, man. Now again, they're coming in as the best defensive team in the country. But they're supposedly coming in with a better offense, and they've got some really good players, with DeAndre Hunter potentially being a lottery pick, and he's a really good player. But it's still very hard because of what happened last year with UMBC, and this team is not really any different. So, Tom, are you nervous eating over there?
Yeah, because it screwed me over last year.
All right. Well, what are you thinking?
I have Virginia winning.
Okay. All right.
But it was difficult.
It is.
It was just the last pick I made.
Yeah. I'll say this: Gardner-Webb. If UMBC could do it, you can do it too. But
where are they from?
I still think Virginia Gardner-Webb. I'm not really 100% sure on that.
They're in the Big South.
Okay, Big South. Okay. I'm thinking like South Carolina, I think, is maybe where they're at or something. I don't know. Excuse me if I'm wrong on that. I apologize. But, yeah, I have Virginia winning it too. Again, though, after last year, who knows? Who exactly knows? In fact, who knows what could happen? If Duke gets upset by NC Central, who right now the coach said he was terrified to play Duke, I mean, everybody's bracket's going out the window at that point. Seriously. So, but anything can potentially happen.
Where'd you say you thought it was?
I thought it was South Carolina. Am I?
Other Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. But yeah, I mean, anything's possible, ladies and gentlemen. But I have Virginia winning as well. All right, next on the list, it's Ole Miss, number 8 against number 9 Oklahoma.
Ole Miss
is another Ole Miss, really? Okay. All right. I went with Ole Miss as well. I mean, Oklahoma's offense and this year, they look terrible. They just don't look good.
Dude, what have we learned from the Big 12 in football? They don't play defense.
No, they play good defense.
Oh, wait, they
in
play
this
defense?
one.
Sorry,
They play good defense. It's their offense that they can't get going.
Wow,
They have
really?
They have
Big 12, you can't play offense?
Hey, you lose Trae Young, man. You got nothing
Doesn't
left
matter.
of it. I know, man. You would think, right? I have Ole Miss.
This one was
as
the
well.
easiest 8-9 pick to pick.
It was. It really was. And plus, too, Ole Miss is just really fast. They play with 4 guards. They fly up the court like nothing. So I have them winning. All right, number 5, Wisconsin versus number 12, Oregon. What are you thinking, Tom? Who do you think's got this one? Was this a difficult one for you?
This is the first of my 12-5 upsets.
Really?
I have Oregon upsetting Wisconsin.
Nice. As do I. Yeah, I like Oregon. Even though they lost Mr. Bull, who I thought was going to be their top player. I don't know if he'll be coming back.
He got hurt, right?
He did get hurt towards the beginning of the year.
That's right.
But even still, even without him, they found a way to win the Pac-12 championship tournament without him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still a fast team. They're still incredibly talented. I'll give some respect to Wisconsin, but their defense I don't think is going to be able to match up with what Oregon's putting down.
No.
They're shooting well from the 3, and they're able to lay it up. Yeah. And then they can pick the ball away. They got a lot of steals too, so I'm going with Oregon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oregon.
All right. So next we have number 4, Kansas State against number 13, UC Irvine. Tom, who you feeling on this one?
Let's go little Big Apple.
Really?
Yeah. K-State.
All right. I can feel that. Yeah.
I don't think UC Irvine is that good.
All
right. When I say I don't think they're that good, yes, they're good enough to make the tournament.
But they're not good enough to be one of the big schools.
They won their division, or they won their title game, so they have to be in the tournament.
Right.
So it's just how it is.
No, it makes sense. I have Kansas State winning as well. I like UC Irvine. They had a great season. 30-5. It's strong. But, I mean, overall, Kansas State, I mean, they've been on a tear. I mean, and they were able to share a win for the first time in a number of years, the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
And Kansas, we'll get to them eventually, but, I mean, Kansas State found a way to actually be the Kansas team that pulled it out to take the title. So props to them. But, yeah, I got them beating UC Irvine as well.
So for that top part right there, because that will be that. I have Virginia beating Ole Miss. I have Oregon beating Kansas State, and then I have Oregon upsetting Virginia in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite 8.
Okay, interesting. I have the same setup, but I have Virginia beating Oregon.
Man, but Virginia lucky I ain't having them upset to Ole Miss or Gardner.
Very true.
Like, come on.
I like your pick though against Oregon. I think a fast team like them. I think
I've gone back and forth on Oregon on a few things, and I'll go more into it in a little bit. But yeah.
All right. Well, so next we have number 6 Villanova against number 11 St. Mary's College. Now I'm gonna say this right now.
Guys from Illinois there anymore?
At St. Mary's?
No,
or Villanova? Yeah. No, they don't. Not that I'm aware of. It's still Villanova, but I'm gonna say this: I'm picking the upset. I'm picking St. Mary's just because that run they went on against the WCC. to be able to win it against Gonzaga, that proved to me something that this team is hungry. And they always find a way to inch their way into the tournament, and I think they're going to be able to beat Villanova. I like Villanova. I still think they're a good team, but I think that this year they're missing that sort of it factor. They don't have that player that they can really depend on, that they can really go to. They have some good players, but they don't have some go-to players. Tom, what do you think?
I mean, I have Villanova.
Okay.
I just think Villanova's been there. They know what to do. They're gonna go in.
They're
just gonna win this game. It's not gonna be an easy game, but it's gonna be an easy game.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to anybody.
So you're saying with experience, you're taking the experience?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's very fair. All right. Next we have number 3 Purdue against number 14 Old Dominion.
Man, the year I thought they were gonna win it, they couldn't do anything.
What do you think?
They're picking a 3 seed this year, and I've been sitting here like I don't know what I'm doing with my pick right now.
What do you thinking?
I have Purdue beating Old Dominion.
Okay.
I still think Purdue. They came back with everybody,
Yep.
a majority of everybody from last year.
Yep.
It's Purdue, Indiana basketball. Let's go.
Yeah.
They are Indiana basketball this year.
Yeah. Purdue is by far. Got to give them credit. They're a strong team. Carson Edwards leads the way. He's a lottery pick. He's definitely. He's a special guard. He's somebody who's going to do wonderful things at the next level. But, yeah, I have Purdue. Look, Old Dominion might be able to do something. They've got a sound team, but that Purdue, they just shoot lights out. They're just really good, and it's going to be tough to beat them. So I have Purdue as well. I have Purdue winning that. All right. So next we have number 7, Cincinnati versus number 10, Iowa.
Upset.
Upset, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why so?
I looked good this year.
Okay.
This is one I'll probably flip back and forth before Thursday.
All right.
Before tomorrow.
A lot of clicking back and forth,
I'll sit here and I'll go home and I'll be like,
yeah.
Why did I pick Cincinnati? Because Cincinnati always wins when I don't pick them.
Right.
And then when I do pick them, they're like, all right, we're gonna play a close game and give you a heart attack, and we're probably gonna have you lose and then maybe win this one.
But that's the fun of it, dude.
Yeah, it is. But I want to be the guy that one year that has the perfect bracket.
Right.
Then I could just retire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on my deathbed. I'm gonna be on my deathbed, and that's when all of a sudden I'm gonna see perfect bracket, and
I finally got the perfect bracket.
They're gonna have a huge news story. Like I'm gonna be looking down and everything. I'll be like, I did it. They're talking about me. I made it, Mom. Mom, I'm famous.
120 years, and I finally did it.
My great grandkids are like, what'd you win? A penny.
I finally got that Acura they finally got in this stupid tournament, and I'll be like too old to drive it or something. So you're picking Iowa, right?
Yeah, I'm picking Iowa.
Okay,
I'll probably stick with Iowa.
I'm going to say Cincinnati just because the Bearcats, last time I've picked the Bearcats, they've been able to come through with me before. So I've been pretty lucky with them in the past. Iowa, I've been like 50-50. It was tough, believe me. This was a tough one because Iowa plays a good game. But
Iowa's not a basketball school. They're a wrestling and football school.
They're a little bit of everything school.
Not really, no. But
they're just coming into like their basketball premise,
now. Yeah,
essentially.
And I'm like, yeah.
It's tough. I know. It is tough.
But I went Iowa.
I mean, look, if this was the wrestling bracket, I would choose Iowa all the way. But I'm going.
No, I choose Penn State any day of the week.
Oh, well, yeah. They've looked
got,
strong, too, yeah.
What's his name?
Who? Oh, yeah.
They got that one big hit wrestling coach.
Yeah,
that's coming up too, dude.
Yeah, I know.
That's at Pittsburgh. You know how mad I am right now. Lacrosse.
Well, you decided to leave.
Lacrosse championships in Philly.
Yeah, I know.
Memorial Day weekend, and then you got the wrestling.
You left at the wrong time, my friend.
I did. And then the Cubs are playing Philly, or they're either playing Philly or the Pirates in Williamsport.
Oh, really?
I'm definitely going back for that.
Okay. All right. Well, then the last team we've got here, it's number 2 Tennessee versus number 15 Colgate.
Can we just make this one quick?
Tennessee, yeah, absolutely. They're too powerful at this point. I'm sorry, they're just too strong.
So
so fill us in.
So I have round of 32. I have Purdue beating Villanova.
Okay.
And then I have Tennessee beating Iowa. Then I sat here at the Sweet 16 again with Purdue.
Yeah.
Where they lost last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I went Tennessee.
Okay.
So I have in my East, I have Duke, Louisville, and then I have Oregon and Tennessee from the South now in the Elite Eight.
So I have Duke and Michigan from the East, and then in the South,
Michigan State
in the South, and in the East. And then for the South, I have Cincinnati, I have Tennessee beating Cincinnati. I have Purdue beating St. Mary's. Tennessee versus Purdue. I have Tennessee winning for Tennessee versus Virginia.
Okay.
So that's
really the only two differences, we both have Tennessee and Duke. The only difference is I have Oregon, you have Virginia.
Right.
I have Louisville, you have Michigan State.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like a lot of people are at this point where it's like it's pretty even keel. So, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna skip through the commercial break here, and we're just gonna keep tearing through these because there's so much we've got to get through on this. So now we're gonna move into the Western region, the West Regional here. So, ready to get this one going?
Yeah.
All right.
But some of these, let's just make them quick.
Yeah, we will. So, number one, it's I'm going to butcher this second name, excuse me. It's number 1 Gonzaga versus number 16 Farley Dickinson. I hope I said that right to those. I apologize if I got it wrong. I have Gonzaga beating them by a whopping load.
I have Gonzaga.
They're a loaded team. They're too good. It'll be if they get upset, it'll be a shocker. It'll be the Virginia shocker for sure. All right, so number 8 Syracuse versus number 9 Baylor.
Syracuse.
Syracuse, really?
Yeah.
I'm taking Baylor. I'm going to say that right now. I would have taken Syracuse, but they're missing their best player in Tyus Battle. And if Syracuse is missing their best player,
it's still Syracuse basketball.
I know, but I know it's Jim Boeheim still, but when you're missing your best player,
and
every time Syracuse hasn't played with their best, I don't remember.
I thought he said he was retiring at the end of the season.
I'm not sure, but I mean it's when Syracuse doesn't have their best player, they haven't really been at 100%, and they don't have like a backup star to go to. So I'm taking Baylor on this. I think they're just gonna be. I think Baylor's just gonna find a way to win without that star.
I have Syracuse. I just think Syracuse. It's the ACC.
It's fair. I mean, they've done it
versus Big 12.
They've done it before. Last year they just barely got into the tournament. And what'd they do? Build a bridge and get over it, Tom.
Nah, dude, it popped up on my timeline. On my memories a couple days ago. I was like,
I'm sorry.
What the hell?
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Don't worry, though. Who knows? Maybe they'll get. Maybe I'll be right, and then you can have your revenge. All right. So, all right. So next, we've got number 5, Marquette versus number 12, Murray State. Marquette, really?
It's Marquette.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that I don't think Murray State could do it. This is a toss-up one, but I went Marquette.
This is a tough one. I wanted to take Murray State because I like John Morant. Also, Bulls take notice. Just saying. But I do think Marquette is just too powered. I like that kid Marcus Howard, and also too. Gotta give some love to Bob, man. He's a Marquette fan, you know.
I think that's why I made that pick.
Probably. I think that's probably why we made that pick. Because we know, Bob, if you're out there, buddy, and you're watching, we love you, man. We miss you.
I haven't heard from you in a while. I miss you, man.
But, yeah, I think we probably did make that pick more for Bob. But,
all right, so we both have Marquette.
Yeah, so we both have Marquette, and they're just high-powered. All right, so next, it's number 4, Florida State versus number 13, Vermont. Now, what are you thinking here, Tom?
This is the runner-up of the ACC.
Okay,
so Florida State.
You went with Florida State?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I also went with Florida State here.
Come on.
I'll say this. Vermont had a really good year.
I almost picked Vermont. Let me say this. I almost picked Vermont, but then I remembered that Florida State lost to Duke in the ACC championship game. And it was a closer game.
Yeah, they kept it close.
So I'm like, great. So I'm definitely not picking Vermont.
Yeah, I would say this. Vermont's got a nice little player in Anthony Lamb who can maybe lead the charge. But Florida State's got a lot of long players there, and it's going to be tough to beat them. It really is. So I'm picking Florida State, too. All right. Number 6, Buffalo versus number 11, either Arizona State or St. John's University. St. John's.
Is it St. John's or is it San Jose?
No, it's St. John's.
Oh, St. John's? Oh.
So they're going to be, I believe they're going to start playing here in a little bit if they haven't started playing right now.
That's not the first game. The first game
is it not? The first game's probably, oh, okay.
No, it's NC Central versus North Dakota.
So they'll be playing later on today to find out who's the winner of that.
Either today or tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, who are you feeling on this? Because for me, this was tough.
I went ASU.
ASU, okay.
Well, I went ASU, SJU.
Yeah. Who do you think out of those two would you think is the prevailer, you think?
ASU.
ASU?
I mean,
okay.
Dude, it's what's his name? That basketball.
Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, Bobby Hurley Jr.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't picking against that guy right now.
I'll say this.
I picked against him when he was at Buffalo.
Here's the thing. It's tough, though, because both of the coaches at these schools, Arizona State, it's Bobby Hurley, former Duke star. And at St. John's, it's Chris Mullen, former St. John's star, former NBA player. So
Bobby Hurley.
So you're taking Bobby Hurley?
Hurley.
I'm taking
Bob Hurley.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm taking Buffalo. I like Buffalo's level of play.
I don't care.
I like how fast they are. I like how good they are.
Bob Hurley Jr.
I think he's
not losing in the first round because he's gonna have to go home and deal with Dad. And he's not dealing with Dad. I've seen that documentary.
Yeah, man. Christian Laettner's not gonna let you live it down, buddy, and we won't let you live it down either.
They were on the same team.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Laettner won't let him live it down.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't let him live it down if he were my best friend either. But yeah, I'm taking Buffalo. I think
that's one of my favorite documentaries. Right, 30 for 30.
Everybody hates Christian Laettner.
Yeah,
That is
one of my favorite 30 for 30s.
And you know what? It's true. People do hate the guy because he was so good and he had a lot of success.
All right.
That's why I hated him. All right. So next we've got number 3, Texas Tech against number 14, Northern Kentucky University. I've never heard of this school. No, I apologize.
It's not Kentucky, right?
It is.
It's not the Wildcats.
Northern Kentucky.
It's not the Wildcats,
Northern
right?
Kentucky.
It's not the Wildcats, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm picking Texas A&M.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Sorry, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I'm picking it didn't matter if it was Texas A&M or not. I'm picking Texas.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech too. Jared Culver is he's right now in the running for one of the best players in the country, arguably top 10 pick. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech. They're on fire right now. They're a high firing team yet again. So I'm going with Texas Tech. All right, next, number 7 Nevada against number 10 Florida. What are you thinking, Tom?
Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah, I don't pick against Nevada.
Now, do you say it Nevada or Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah, I don't pick against Nevada.
Okay. See, here's the thing. A lot of people were arguing with me about it's Nevada, not Nevada. I'm like, because I asked,
what do you think it is, people out there?
Because I asked people, I'm like, how do I say this? Do I say it Nevada or Nevada? And then I got into like this giant chain message with like 150 plus people telling me how to say it.
That's your fault.
And I'm just like, I don't care. I just wanted to make sure I pronounced it right.
Nevada.
Okay, all right. I'm taking the upset. I'm going with Florida.
I'm going Nevada. I don't pick against Nevada.
Okay.
Plain and simple, I pick against them, I lose.
They're a good team. They're really experienced. They made the tournament last year. Florida, they're a surprise team this year.
Nevada lost to Loyola Chicago.
They did. So, I mean, that's the other thing, too. And this Florida team has a lot of good players that I think are going to be very good if they stay in college this next year. So, I'm taking Florida. All right, and to round this one out, it's number 2, Michigan, for Tom's sake, I'll say that, against number 15, Montana. Tom, who are you picking for this one? I don't know if you're mad because you're going to say who I think you're going to say, or if you're
I picked the 2 seed.
Okay. He avoids the name completely and just says the name of the seed.
Am I stupid?
I don't know. I was just wondering.
Did you pick this 15 seed?
No.
Exactly, so we're done there.
I just wanted to see if you're gonna be like Montana upset right off the bat. I just wanted you to smash the table with a loud boom and just be like,
if the
Montana for the win.
If the 15 seed was say some other
Belmont or something like that, or Yale or Princeton or something like that,
Harvard or something like that,
yeah,
maybe.
Right,
but it's Montana. I don't know what they do up there.
Okay, all right.
But
so round out the Elite Eight for me.
I have Gonzaga beating Syracuse. I have Florida State beating Marquette. I have Gonzaga beating Florida State. I have Arizona State beating Texas Tech. I have the number 2 seed beating Nevada, and then I have the number 2 seed beating Arizona State.
Love this.
And then I have so it's Gonzaga and the 2 seed.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I will say that I have Gonzaga beating Baylor, Marquette beating Florida State, and then I have Marquette upsetting Gonzaga.
Wrong.
I fully believe Marquette can potentially end up upsetting Gonzaga. They can shut them down, I think.
They got to get through Florida State, and they're not going to do it.
I think they can. I definitely think they can. Then I have Texas Tech beating Buffalo. I have Michigan beating Florida, and then I have Texas Tech beating your number 2 seed. And then I have Marquette versus Texas Tech in the Elite Eight there. So that's how I'm going to round that one out. That's my only one where people will probably be like, what's wrong with you? Trust me.
Hey, it's March Madness. It's March Madness. Anything can happen.
Well,
I've already started crumpling up my brackets.
And also by now, if you haven't realized there's something wrong with me, then, what's wrong with you? All right.
NC Central's up 9-6.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
17-14 in the
We'll
first.
see if they can maybe be the conquerors of Duke in the David Goliath match. All right. So now we go into the final part of this. You ready to do it?
Yeah.
The Midwest Regional, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's number 1 UNC versus number 16 Iona. Should I even ask the question?
I have North Carolina.
Yeah,
I'm not stupid.
There you go. There you go. Use your brain. Use your brain.
No, I did. There was a small part of me where I was like, Iona could do this. Iona could do this.
I will give them credit.
Iona could be that team this year.
I've watched their little highlights. They're fast little SOBs, man.
Yeah.
They're really quick.
Dude, I was
hate
like,
that.
I had Iona cooked at one point. I was like,
Yeah.
they could do this. I'm like, but I'm not stupid.
I like UNC runs the floor fast too, so they could keep up with Iona. But Iona's one of those teams where it's like, where eventually the team will be like, man, can they just like call timeout real fast? I need a breather. They're fast. So, but I got UNC because, I mean, come on, man. That's my team. Can't go against my team. It's like, Tom, if Notre Dame was in this bracket right now, he'd be picking them all the way.
Dude, I always have my Notre Dame bracket.
I know you do. I know you do. All right, yeah, but I got UNC.
I'm not stupid.
All right, number 8, Utah State versus number 9, Washington. Who do you got?
I don't think this is an upset, but it's going to be classified as an upset.
Yeah.
I think Washington wins.
Okay, all right. Any particular reason why, or you just
I just
favor
think
them?
Washington's a better team.
Okay, all right. I also have Washington too. I think they just collectively they just look stronger. Utah State shoots the ball very well all the way around, but I think Washington, the Pac-12 just develops a lot of tough kids, and I know Utah State competes against a lot of those teams, but I don't know. I like Washington in the way they're playing this year, so I went with Washington as well. All right. Number 5, Auburn versus number 12, New Mexico State University.
I don't pick against New Mexico State.
So you're saying upset?
Yeah, it's the other upset.
Okay.
I don't. There's several teams
Solid.
I don't pick against here in the tournament when they're in there. It's New Mexico State, it's Harvard, it's Nevada, and it's also what was the other one I don't pick against? Cincinnati's a hard one. And then I always try to pick against Michigan State because I don't think they're good.
Okay, all right. So you're saying New Mexico State?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though Auburn won the SEC
tournament, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
was like,
you're
I'm
on the
thinking
right
it's
path.
always Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, even though they won it, I just don't think they're that good.
Okay, that's fair. I have Auburn winning this game. I think New Mexico State's going to be competitive. I think they're going to keep Auburn on their edge. But Auburn right now is leaping out of the gym, and I think they could be favorites to do a lot of upsetting in this. I don't have them going too far, but I think they're a team that can do some pretty serious damage. So that's
You're
on
talking
me.
about the next game at least.
Yeah, well, so the next one, it's number 4 Kansas against number 13, which is Northeastern. Thank you.
Hey,
I
Northeastern.
blinked on that.
Go play the real sport that you know how to play in Boston, and that's hockey because you're way better at that.
Yeah, they're a very good hockey team. I gotta give them credit on that. But
obviously, I have Kansas. I'm not stupid.
Well-
Bill Self's leaving.
well, that's the rumor is that he could be potentially leaving Kansas.
Going to Chicago.
Potentially, but that's only a rumor as of right now. Kansas struggled a lot during the year. They lost one of their top players from an injury, but they had some guys that were able to step up and become stars. Northeastern, I don't think is going to be able to hang with Kansas because Bill Self knows the NCAA tournament in and out. He knows how to get through the tournament. He knows how to build a champion. He's done it before with less. He can do it again. So, yeah, I'm taking Kansas too. All right, so next we have number 6, Iowa State. Number 11, Ohio State. Who are you taking?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
No, hold on. I'm going to take State.
Which state?
Iowa State.
Okay, cool. I can't, I hate Ohio State. Yeah, I'm taking Iowa State. I love the Cyclones, man. They're always a team that comes through. I like the way that they fight. So I don't want to see Ohio State
Quick
win
pause
any
real
more
fast.
titles.
Bleacher
What's
Report
up?
came out with their 2019 NBA mock draft full first-round predictions entering March Madness, so right before this all starts.
Yeah.
I'll do top 5 because the Bulls have like the 3rd pick or something like that.
They're right now seated at the 3rd pick.
Yeah, so the Knicks, Zion at 1.
Okay.
Phoenix gets James Mornett from Murray State.
John Morant.
Whatever.
Close enough.
The Cavs get R.J. Barrett at 3. Oh, they have us at 4.
Oh, okay.
And
that makes sense.
And the Bulls will go at Jarrett Culver, Texas Tech shooting guard.
Okay. I mean, My problem is he going to play point guard? But, I don't want to get into that. But,
I'll just round out the top 10 because why not?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Number 5, the Atlanta Hawks, DeAndre Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, the Grizzlies will get Kobe White. Obviously, predictions. The
Okay.
Hawks again have the 7th via the Mavericks. They
Right.
get Jackson Hayes from Texas.
That's a risk, but sure.
The 8th, the Wizards, Cam Reddish.
That's a
I don't
big
think
risk.
I don't think he'll fall that far.
Really?
Yeah, and the Pelicans, Bol at 9.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
And the Lakers, Raul Hachimura Gonzaga.
They take Rui Hachimura
Mm-hmm.
from oh, wow. You know what? I mean, if they do that, LeBron better get the heck out of town because that kid is going to be coming. I seriously like him a lot.
Bulls have 2 first-round picks?
No, I believe we only have the one right now. If I'm mistaken,
I'm looking real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, see if you can find it real quick. If not, let's tear through the rest of this.
Yeah, you can keep talking.
All right, cool. All right, well, so next here we have number 3, Houston, against number 14, Georgia State. Houston, just by far and large. You're not going to pick them for an upset, man? Okay.
I don't have any more upsets.
Yeah, Houston, they're like the 3rd best defensive team, I think, right now in the country. Now, they didn't play a lot of big competition, but, I mean, they tore through their conference, and they look really good right now. So I think they can do some serious damage going forward. But, I mean, that's also pending, too, on if a lot of their guys can stay healthy because they had some injury trouble going down the line there. But, yeah, I have Houston as well. All right. Number 7, Wofford versus number 10, Seton Hall. Wolford? Is that how they say it, Wolford? Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was Wofford, but excuse me. It's Wolford. Well, and that makes sense because they're a dog, the Terriers, so it's like, Wolf.
I'm going that school.
Okay, all right. I you know what? I like Wofford, but I'm gonna take Seton Hall just because I don't know. It's tough to pick against a team like Seton Hall. They're a quick team. They're agile. They shoot pretty well. And the Terriers really haven't faced a lot of top competition like them in the past, so it's difficult to say.
Wait, does the first round start tomorrow?
Yes, I believe
64 start
it
tomorrow.
should.
There's only
yeah.
2 playing games today?
Yeah. Well, it's the first 4 today.
Yeah,
it's the first 4.
Usually they're on opposite sides.
Yeah, that's why.
Of the bracket. Like they're both. One's in the. As I'm looking at it, East and West. One's usually in the East and one's in the Midwest.
Right. Yeah. No, you're good. You're fine.
Threw me way off.
Oh, you're all right. All right, and the last one is going to be number 2 Kentucky versus number 15 Albany Christian, and Tom's giving me the look.
Why are we even asking about this? We all know it's Kentucky. Get out of here.
Are you sure you don't want to call for an upset? I'm just asking.
Are you calling for the upset?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've got Kentucky. Look, it's John Calipari. It's a high-powered Kentucky team yet again that's finally found its balance. I think they're back on track. I think they can pull something off here. So,
all right.
Yeah, I've got Kentucky. All right.
To round it out, I have North Carolina beating Washington. I have Kansas beating New Mexico State. I have North Carolina beating Kansas to go into the Elite Eight.
Okay.
And then I have Houston beating Iowa State and Kentucky beating Wofford. I have Kentucky beating Houston, and I have North Carolina and Kentucky in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
Now, do we want to go down to our Final Four predictions? Or if you finish out yours and then
you
go.
Yeah, we'll definitely pour through the Final Fours then at that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have North Carolina beating Washington as well. I have Auburn beating Kansas. I have Houston beating Iowa State, and then I have Kentucky beating Seton Hall. So then from there, I have Houston upsetting technically Kentucky, because I think they can actually pull that off. I have UNC beating Auburn because I think UNC is just loaded with too much talent for Auburn right at this point. And then UNC versus Houston, again, I got to take UNC just because they're stacked with too much depth. So
if you have UNC going to the Final Four, because you said UNC Houston, you have UNC beating Houston.
Oh yeah,
I jumped
the gun there.
You start your Final Four. So
you
start in the Midwest.
So I have UNC beating Houston. Like I said, there's too much depth there. I think they're just too talented all the way around. And as much as I think Houston can get to the Elite Eight, I think it'll merely be on their defensive presence. I think they can shut down teams like Kentucky and things like that. But UNC, I think, is just stacked with talent.
So for me in that one, I agree. UNC beating Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any other
I think Calipari or anybody like them can really handle them. It's just, it's Roy Williams, it's UNC. That team is just too good. And for me personally, as a fan, like I don't ever want to go against my team. You know, it's one of my things. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, that's just what I do. So next, I mean, in the West, I'll say this for the West. So I have Marquette versus Texas Tech, the weird one that everybody's probably going, what's wrong with you? Everything's wrong with me. I have Marquette beating Texas Tech in that. I think I like the way they play. And
that's your weird one. My weird one would be the South. Because my bottom two are both the Midwest and the West are both 1 and 2 seeds in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, no, this is the one where I just looked at it and I'm just like, because I like Gonzaga, but I feel like with all the talent they have, even still they can be beat. And I think Marquette's the team that can just outshoot them in the gym. So I think Marquette, because they have a star player there in Marcus Howard and they've got a really good unit around him, I think they can make the Final Four. I think they can do it.
Yeah. So you have Marquette in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I have Gonzaga beating the 2 seed.
Okay.
And I have Gonzaga in the Final Four. So my bottom half would look like North Carolina and Gonzaga. So
okay.
One.
Never gonna pick that number 2 seed to ever make it to the Final Four, are you? Okay. All right.
I did that one time. I gave them the 1 year that they were really good, and everybody's like, "Oh, you can't pick against them." And
they were like a number 1 seed and they dropped it. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. All right, so moving to we'll go with the South next.
No, let's go West. Let's go East. Let's go East. Yeah.
Okay, we'll follow it up there. So I have Duke and Michigan State, and unfortunately, I mean, again, Duke's too powerful. I think it's going to be Duke in the Final Four. I just don't see Michigan State being able to stand with that team. Talented as they are, don't see it happen.
I have Duke over Louisville, so we're on the same boat.
Okay, cool.
All right,
and then in the South, to finish it off for the Final Four, Virginia versus Tennessee, the 1 versus the 2. I got Tennessee upsetting Virginia because I think Virginia's going to come in there, try to shut them down on their defense, you know, how they usually try to do. But I think Tennessee is just going to shoot them out of the gym. I think they're just going to power through them.
This is where I've gone back and forth on several times. I have, obviously, Oregon, Tennessee.
Yeah.
When I got here, I had Oregon winning and in the Final Four. And then I sat down, I was relooking, and I was like, Tennessee is just so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep flipping on this one. I know it until I can't anymore.
Yeah.
But right now I have Tennessee beating Oregon.
Okay. All right. I mean, you know what, though? You bring up a fair point. I mean, like you said before with Oregon, I mean, they're a good team. They find a way to win. They did it last year. They've done it the year before.
They've done it in years past.
Yeah, they've done it throughout their history. They can do it again. And against a team like Tennessee, if they look the wrong way, that team can fly right by you. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, so my Final Four reads Tennessee versus UNC, and then Duke versus Marquette. Your Final Four reads
Duke versus Gonzaga and Tennessee versus North Carolina.
Okay, so you have 3 number 1s and a number 2. I have 2 number 1s, 1, 2, and a number 5.
Yeah.
So what is your national championship looking like right now in this bracket?
Before I switched it when I got here, I had Gonzaga versus Oregon.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
After I switched it, I have Gonzaga versus Tennessee.
Ooh, interesting. You know what? That's not. I like that matchup. Okay. Gonzaga versus Tennessee. That would. You know what? That would be a pretty good game. I think.
So you tell me yours, and then we'll tell everybody who we got winning it.
Well, I went with rematch number 4, ladies and gentlemen. It's Duke versus UNC. I mean, look, I think Tennessee is going to give UNC some problems, but I think that they can handle Tennessee. And, I mean, Duke against Marquette, I think Marquette can hold their own, but, again, Duke's very powerful. So I think they would find a way to be able to win by at least 10 or 12. And I think it would just be another ACC tournament, regular season rematch for these 2 teams. Both of them at full power because, look, this last game they played in the SEC tournament, that was a really good game. I don't care who you are. That was a very good game played by both of them. And I think it would be a rematch, fight to the death for these 2 teams. So that's what I'm picking, Duke versus UNC, numero 4, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Who you got winning it?
Who do I got winning it?
Yeah.
Do you even have to ask me that question?
Yeah,
are you kidding?
Duke, right?
What do you think? I'm going to set myself on fire right now. Are you kidding me?
You could pick Duke.
I could have, but I didn't. because the UNC Tar Heels are the only team so far that I've been able to see that has come the closest to being able to shut down the Duke Blue Devils, even with Zion in the lineup. They found a way to keep that game to a 2-point close. 2 points that close. They were that close to winning it the third time. So I'm taking UNC. I think they find a way to shut him down, keep him to the outside, let him try and take those 3-point shots all day. Just put pressure on R.J. Barrett. Let him try to feed Cam Reddish. He's been missing his shot left and right. If that's the case, I'll take that matchup every day. Tom, who do you got?
Let's go. So I have Gonzaga.
Are you still trying to choose?
Tennessee. No, I have Gonzaga.
Really?
Beating Tennessee.
So you have Gonzaga finally getting into the tournament and getting that win.
Yeah, dude. First off, I don't think Duke's gonna get past the top 15 defense in Gonzaga. Like that's all they play there.
Yeah.
And then I just think Gonzaga is gonna shut down Tennessee.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
You wanna go?
What?
To the national championship? Dude, it's in Minnesota.
First off, do you know how expensive those tickets are? Number one. Number two, no, because our road trip with you last time, we almost killed each other on the way there and on the way back, even though this would be a lot of fun to watch. I can't lie. I would love to go to a tournament, go see a national championship. Absolutely 100% would love that to happen. But, no, we can't. When are we going to find the time? Exactly. So, I mean, we're both working, and we've got this to do, so... but hey, if you guys want to donate any money to us, by all means, send us to Minnesota. We'll do a live show out there or something. I don't know. Yeah, we can figure it out. All right. So you've got Gonzaga winning it. I got UNC winning it. Okay. So then for your other bracket, though, real quickly, you have Tennessee winning it.
Yes. I have
so
Tennessee.
So let me ask, why is that?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull it back up.
Since we've got a little bit of time here to burn before we go to commercial on this.
We're going to commercial?
Yeah, we'll be going to commercial.
We're going to the women's bracket.
No, give me a chance to take a break here and catch my breath.
You're fine. I have Tennessee beating Duke.
Really?
Yeah.
Tennessee beating Duke.
Yeah, and that one, so I have, in my Elite Eight, I have Duke, Maryland, Wisconsin, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Gonzaga versus 2.
Okay.
So I really have almost the same setup. I have 2 number 1s on one side. I have 2 number 2s on the other side. I have Tennessee versus Kentucky, and I have Duke versus Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And I have Tennessee beating Kentucky, and I have Duke beating Gonzaga in this one because, you know what? I'm just going to flip it in this one.
Okay.
And then I have Tennessee beating beating Duke. The fun fact, though, in this one is I have Bradley beating Michigan State, and I have Bradley beating Minnesota, but I have Bradley losing to Maryland in the Sweet 16.
So is that your upset bracket then? Is that
a little bit because I have Oklahoma beating Ole Miss, and then I have Oklahoma beating Virginia. I have Wisconsin beating Oregon, Wisconsin beating K-State.
Okay.
And then I have Wisconsin beating Oklahoma to be in the Final Four or in the Elite Eight. Then I have Maryland beating Belmont, Yale beating LSU, Minnesota beating Louisville.
Oh wow! So you chose a lot of the upsets of this.
I have Baylor beating Syracuse. I have Murray State beating Marquette. Buffalo beating Arizona State or SJU.
Yeah.
I have Florida beating Nevada. I have Buffalo beating Texas Tech.
Ooh, okay.
I have Seton Hall beating Wilford. I have Ohio State beating Iowa State.
That's blasphemy.
I just picked. I mean, I know. I had Utah picking Washington. But
okay.
Like I said, I had Auburn beating Kansas then. So, yeah, this was more of my upset one, but not fully.
Okay.
Just because I still have my picks that I knew I wasn't picking against. But I also have, St. Mary's beating Villanova.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Tom, for sharing that one with us. Listen, if that bracket actually wins, man, I will. Anytime we go out on the night, I will pay for your beer. Perfect. For a full year. If that bracket actually wins and comes out perfect, I will pay for your beer for a full year.
Dude, we got to hurry up and go to break so we can talk about the women's.
We do. All right.
I got a big surprise in that one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll go to commercial break right now, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the women's NCAA tournament bracket as well as talking a little bit about baseball too, because somebody got themselves a pretty big deal. We'll be talking about all that and more here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. Don't go anywhere.
I was going to say, Mookie didn't sign his deal.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
All right, can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
The Chicagoland area has a large number of lonely dogs currently filling shelter pens, just waiting to find a family. Nothing adds warmth to a home like a wagging tail and a warm pair of brown eyes. If you are considering adding a dog to your household, visit the Anderson Animal Shelter, where adoption counselors can assist you in selecting your new best friend. Make your house a home. Adopt a shelter dog. To see a current list of adoptees, visit their website at www.andersonanimalshelter.org or meet them in person at 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin. Don't have room in the home for a new furry family member? Donations of toys, collars, and soft or hard non-perishable dog food are always accepted and are greatly appreciated. All animals are spayed or neutered and are waiting with tails wagging to find a loving home. Visit 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin or www.andersonanimalshelter.org for more details.
Hey, watch your mouth. Wine. I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work.
I've been drinking Coors since my college days. The cold draft taste is second to none.
Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right?
You know it, mother.
Hey, you get those reports done?
Yeah. No.
You, sir.
Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
That is all. Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. Where's the boss?
Hey, sir. Go yourself.
You're fired!
To the X-Bomb Sports live show. I am the host with the most who doesn't like to really eat his toast, Mr. Andrew Valentin. With me, of course, is the man who... Are you eating a mint?
No.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
I love your child demeanor, just like, no, I'm not eating it. Should I be like, open your mouth now?
No, get out of here, Dad.
Of course, Tom McKinney's still here with me. And now we are going to be pouring into the women's bracket of the NCAA tournament because if you guys don't know, that is going on as well. And there's a lot of hype on that one, too, because there's a lot of high-powered teams playing through that one. And you never know who's going to win in that one because there's a lot of competition.
Yeah, you do.
You think you know who's going to win. And
I was right last year. I've been right like the last 3 years.
You got your favorite, but...
I've been right like the last 3 years.
We will see if you can get it this year. All right, so we're going to pour through some of the big key matchups here now. Tom, what are some of the big ones you're seeing right now? What are the ones you're seeing in the bracket as of right now? I mean, obviously there's the big number ones. And
potentially, if it could happen, you could have Stanford versus Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
That would happen in the Elite Eight. That could be a big matchup.
Yeah.
You have Tennessee, Maryland could be a big matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But the big one that could happen is also Tennessee, UConn.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big, big matchup.
Oh, yeah. Well, and those two teams have they have a big rivalry between them that bleeds throughout the last couple of years. So I mean,
Clemson, Mississippi State is going to be a big one.
Yep.
Same as I think Oregon, Mississippi State's going to be a huge one. South Carolina, Baylor, if South Carolina can get that far, I just think they're going to be hurting too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think South Carolina could do it.
Okay.
Baylor's really got an easy route.
Yeah, Baylor's they're traveling sort of the easy road. They're not playing too tough of teams right now. And
problem is they're playing in Greensboro.
Yeah, they got no home advantage.
No, they're playing in Waco, Texas. No,
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the
yep,
Greensboro
right.
side, but they're hosting. Just all the number 1 seeds host. So like Mississippi State, it's the Portland region, but they're playing in Starksville.
Right.
Louisville is playing in Louisville, Kentucky. They're playing at KFC Yum. What the flop? KFC Yum Center. I had to make sure I read that right.
You were right. You were right. I was.
And Notre Dame is the Chicago, and they're playing at Joyce Center. But I think the finals is Wintrust.
Mm-hmm.
The Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 will be at Wintrust.
Yep.
And if I can, I'll be going to one or both of those games.
If you do, by all means, get sideline reporting.
I
please.
will do everything I can. But really, so my Elite 8, I have Baylor, Iowa. From the Greensboro, I have from Portland, I have Mississippi State, Oregon. From Albany, I have Louisville, Tennessee. Yes, I have Tennessee beating UConn, which Tennessee is an 11 seed.
Yeah.
So I have Tennessee pretty far.
Okay.
And then in the Chicago one, I have the two closest teams to each other.
Yeah.
I have Notre Dame versus DePaul.
Really?
Yeah.
So basically, you're talking, as you would put it, 2 home teams.
It really is our 2 home games for both
it's 2
teams.
home. Yeah.
Like, it's not an away game for DePaul, who would be the away team.
Right.
But it's also not a home game for DePaul because Notre Dame is literally 2 hours, and Notre Dame travels awfully well.
Yeah.
In my Final Four, I have Oregon versus Iowa. Yes, I have Oregon beating Mississippi State, and I have Iowa beating Baylor. And I have Oregon beating Iowa. And then in my Final Four, on the other side, I have Louisville versus Notre Dame, 2 ACC teams. Obviously, I have Louisville beating Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tennessee, can't have you win both.
Yeah.
But I have Notre Dame playing Oregon, and clearly I have Notre Dame playing.
Gee, what a shocker. So you say Mississippi State loses. Now, why do you feel that could happen? Now, against
I
Oregon,
just think
Oregon, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I just think Clemson's a tougher team, and I think they're going to put a hurting on them. I think Miami's going to put a hurting on them.
Okay.
And I think once they get to that, Oregon's just going to be that team that's going to put a hurting on them.
So you're thinking that from physical beatdown, they will potentially just be too weak to be able to take on what Oregon. Because I know Oregon, their women's basketball team, they play just like the men's team. Essentially, they're very quick. They're agile. They come at you from all different angles. They can shoot from beyond the 3. They can shoot from mid-range and stuff. So.
And I know I'm going to hear a lot about this, but I'm allowed to look. Have you seen that Oregon women's team?
Yeah.
Really? Have you just seen Oregon athletics?
Yeah.
On the women's side? Goddamn.
Yeah. They've got the talent to go with a ton of other, but
they have it all in the right places.
Yeah, we'll stop it at there. Yeah. So, but that's interesting because a lot of people.
You want to go to Tampa?
What's go to? Stop sending us to places. I don't have the money, and neither do you. Where are you gonna find this?
I don't know, but let's go Tampa, dude. Come on, tickets are gonna be way cheaper. Tickets are gonna be way cheaper.
You have like an old benefactor that like I don't know about. That's
maybe don't worry about it.
Just some old dude in his house just being like, if I keep paying him, he'll come back to me someday. Yeah. Like, it's just like a weird relationship.
I only go to him when I need money.
Okay, I'm not getting any farther into that story. No, but with, like, Mississippi State, a lot of people were saying that they could be big favorites to win the title because they play strong inside. They look very tough, and I mean, they play well defensively. So, I mean, that's interesting that you said that they would be upset before they could even. So, again, you had them losing to Oregon, right?
Yeah, I have losing to Oregon.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people said, like, oh, Oregon, they should be shut down by Mississippi State. But I've heard a lot of people say, they're fast, and I don't know if Mississippi State could really keep up with that kind of speed, because
I think
it's tough.
I also think UConn's starting to drop.
Yeah, there's. I mean, well, there is. I don't know if you've seen some of the articles that have come out for UConn women's, but there's a lot that have said, are we seeing the dynasty years now fading away?
Which would be great for women's college basketball.
Well, you can see it now. Like if you look, because I recently looked at like the women's the recruiting. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed at like how many of the top women in the country. They aren't choosing UConn. They're choosing a whole lot of other schools. Obviously, you find the Tennessee, you find, the Duke, Notre Dame, South Carolina, Mississippi, stuff like that. You find a lot of the top schools, but there's a lot of them that are finding the other schools out there where they can really kind of push their talent out there, which is good because just as an athlete overall, for anybody that's listening that's an athlete, if you go to a smaller school, you can become a starter probably by the time when you're a freshman, rather than if you go to the big school where you may have to sit for a year or two. Just saying, you find more potential for you to show your case, and then if you want to go to the WNBA, guess what? You've got a better resume to kind of show.
It's not go to the WNBA. It's go overseas and play because you make more money.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, and that's for a conversation that we'll definitely have in the future for sure. But I've always been interested in like the articles. They just say like, yeah, nobody really wants to go to UConn anymore because there's so many different options out there, and so many girls already want to go there, and so why try and play over them when you can just go somewhere else and play against them?
Yeah,
and you can see a lot of them are starting to really beat them up. So they're still a good school. It's just they're finding it tougher and tougher to compete against the competition there. Of course, I'll give some love to your guys at your women at Notre Dame. It's hard to find a fault with their game, to be honest. They play a lot
of Hall of Fame coach.
That's true. They do.
And technically the trophy has to go through them. So
yeah,
it's got to go through South Bend.
They are the current champs right now. So, but
and they still have Arike Kumbuambe. So
yes, yeah. And now I've heard, is she projected to go #1 in the draft potentially? That's what I've heard. But yeah, that team, they rebound, they shoot threes, they shoot jumpers, they lay it up,
and they know how to pull out Kobe.
Yeah, they. yes, they're supremely talented all the way through and through. It is probably going to be somebody versus Notre Dame for the national title, because this team right now, and not only that, but they've got depth. That's the other thing. If one girl goes down, they've got one or two more that really
last year.
No, they didn't. They did not have depth.
That team should not have won the championship last year.
No, they did not.
But they finally got done. Now, if the men's hockey team can do it and stop just winning conference championships, that would be fine with me, and same with lacrosse. Jesus.
I knew you were going to fit hockey in there somewhere.
Somewhere or another, man. Dude, Penn State, Notre Dame this weekend. Notre Dame's going to be popping this weekend, dude.
Yeah.
Every sport is home. Lacrosse is home. Big Ten championship in hockey is at Notre Dame against Penn State. You got the first game at 10 o'clock. It starts all early, 9 o'clock our time, at Joyce Center with the women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got lacrosse, track field, baseball, softball. Everything's home this weekend. I got the email about it earlier. I was like, oh, that's where I want to be this weekend.
I got the fan letter in the mail, and it says, "We need you."
Yep.
But how are you gonna get there? I mean,
I have no idea.
Don't forget too. You've got to work, and then also you've got your other half at home.
She's at Michigan. She's a number 2 seed fan.
I mean, but you have to share experiences, man.
No, she's a number 2 seed fan. The only time I'll step foot on that is if Notre Dame's playing that team, or Ohio State.
I can only imagine how bad your household's gonna be if Michigan wins that NCAA title. If they somehow find a way to.
She's not like that though. She doesn't really care much.
That's good.
But she is definitely a 2 seed fan.
Yeah. I know you told me that.
Hey,
but
quick thing, I found this real quick. It
What's
popped up. There are only 4 active starters in the MLB with 100 or more starts with a better ERA than Kyle Hendricks. Those 4 pitchers are Clayton Kershaw, DeGrom, Bumgarner, and Sale.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, speaking of baseball, too, I mean, we're going to get to that here.
Pretty good transition.
Yeah, that's a pretty good transition. But, guys, before we end this one off, let us know what you guys think about the NCAA tournament on the men's bracket and on the women's bracket. Who do you think is going to win? Where do you see the upsets? You guys can let us know. Fill out some brackets. post them on the Facebook. Send us to them through emails. Let us know because we're gonna be tracing through this stuff while the tournament goes on. We're gonna be following it up little by little.
Perfect bracket. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Somehow or some way.
Yeah. If you get a way to get a perfect bracket,
not just a perfect bracket because that might be difficult. And then
here's what I'll say: if you can get perfect in the first round,
perfect in the first 2 rounds,
perfect in the first 2 rounds, we'll find a way to send you some
sunglasses or
future
something.
yet to be made merch. Okay, I mean we'll find a way to be able to put something together for you guys. So if you can get perfect in the first 2 rounds,
hell, I'll send you donuts or edible arrangements.
Are you just saying that because I put that on a post? Well, I got a text from one of my friends that's like, so if I watch, do I get free donuts? I'm like, well, no, you can get a donut. I never said it was free. I'm like, you can just get one and watch.
No, I want a free donut.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't promise a free donut. I just said you could watch and have a donut. It never said get a free donut.
No, you did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, context, man. Come on, it's important. But you guys, let us know what you guys think about that stuff. Comment down below. Like it, give us a like. Let us know what you guys think. And, yeah, if you get the first 2 rounds correct, perfect, 100% perfect, we will send you some sort of item that we can come up with, whether it be a hat or sunglasses, something. We will send you something.
Or a beautiful signed picture of me.
Yes, or a beautiful signed picture of new Tom. This is I can't say just regular Tom now because before when you were shaved you were old Tom or you were new Tom and now you're like new Tom because. But, I mean, once you grow it all back, you'll be back to regular
let's talk about this boring contract.
Oh, God. Excuse me. I'm dying. Yeah.
Show now we're talking hockey.
Not going to happen today. Next week. Yeah, so our final topic of the day is going to be I was debating about what we exactly could talk about because there was some NFL news, certainly, if you guys didn't hear. The Chiefs... Tyreek Hill's under investigation. Can't stay out of trouble, apparently. Kareem Hunt suspended for 8 games. Throwing that news out there real quick and stuff like that. Obviously, don't take any advice about college administrations from Aunt Becky. And just yeah. What? Bad joke? Not good enough?
That was a terrible joke.
Okay, cool. just pity laugh, please.
No.
Damn it. All right.
You don't get that satisfaction.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so I thought basically because the big news was that Mike Trout got his new deal, we would focus on that for the last part of this show.
How about we talk about Ichiro returning to Japan today?
We can ball that out in the end here, but I want to get a few
and
questions.
How baseball season started today, but it really didn't. I don't understand that. Like those.
Yeah, it technically did start, but it didn't start. So.
Well, those count as the records. Like those 2 teams already have started the season.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
Well, I guess it is official then. All right, well, the big news is Mike Trout signed a 12-year, $430 million extension to stay with the Anaheim, the Los Angeles Angels.
Of Anaheim.
Stupid. But, yeah, so now he has officially signed the largest contract in all of professional sports. He is now going to be making somewhere around $36 million, I believe it is, per year. Largest contract in all of professional sports history. Nobody has ever had any sort of money like this before. I mean, Tom, what are your thoughts on this deal?
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I mean, there was a lot
of...
Yeah,
see, it did count on the records.
Oh, it did. Oh, well, then I guess baseball season...
Even though there's still spring training games.
Yeah. So I guess the season has started then. All right. But so you think that this was inevitable? You think that he was going to always be an Angel no matter what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will say that I was a little shocked by it because I thought maybe he would field some offers, but then my mind just suddenly clicked back to, well, it is Mike Trout. I mean, we do have to remember that this is the guy who is the face of Major League Baseball, but he doesn't want the fame. No. And that's the interesting thing about this, man. And I think that's why a lot of people are kind of reluctant to like this guy sometimes, is because he's one of those superstars who doesn't seem to want the attention. He doesn't seem to want the fame, yet he gets a lot of talk about him because of how good he plays and how quiet he is. And
You know why he's talked a lot about here in Chicago?
why is that?
Because the White Sox passed on him.
Yes, I know.
So did
Thank
what?
you.
17 other teams?
Yes. Well, I mean, look, it's always tough to judge on a prospect.
By the way,
but
he was the only one at the draft. In his
Was he
draft
really?
Yeah.
really,
MLB Network always hosts the draft, and they always invite who they think are going to be the top picks.
Right.
And none of the top picks showed up, and Trout was the only one there. And the whole story was like they were freaking out because they thought Trout was going to go like 1, then he didn't go 1, didn't go 2. Like
So he just sat there by
he
himself.
just sat there with no one else. Like they're announcing
That's
these other
interesting.
players off, like White Sox, Gordon, Beckham, or whatever, and he's not there to walk up there. And then all of a sudden the Angels pick Trout, and they're like, thank you. Now we have someone to talk to.
Right,
we
somebody
can interview, and
yeah.
he'll just sit up here the whole time, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
That
and
video pops up around.
But that's the thing. That speaks to his character, really. I mean, that's what you get with this guy. You get a
I don't
guy.
know if I would go to the draft though.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because now you see a lot more and more, like with the NFL and the NBA and all that stuff. There's a lot of guys that kind of stay home and don't really go
Like
to the
hockey
draft
would be
and
one
stuff.
thing I would go because you're allowed to bring as many family members you want. You sit
Right,
in
yeah.
the stadium, the seats itself.
Yeah.
But for baseball, it's like, no, I don't want to sit in a back room with just like my mom and my
Yeah.
dad and my agent.
Well, that one's not even as nationally televised as like you see with the NHL, NBA, and NFL.
NHL just became more broad
Right.
televised. With
But now,
NBC.
now you're starting to see like those three, especially. They're starting. Well, starting with the NFL and the NBA,
baseball
you're making
has
them a momentum.
2 drafts though. Remember that.
Right. They have the Rule 5 draft, and then they have the,
Actually,
the
they have,
regular
like 3
amateur draft.
drafts.
Well, yeah, they got a lot of jurisdictions within and all that stuff. But yeah, I honestly like. I think for Trout and for the Angels, this is a smart deal and stuff. So it's halftime.
40-34 North Dakota State at half.
Wow. Okay. So North Dakota State may get its shot at Duke. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a smart move for the Angels. I mean, they certainly lock in their superstar.
Team's
My
still
question,
really old.
That's the thing is, I was going to ask you, what moves do they have to make now what moves do you see them making? Because like that team, like you said, they're very up in age. Now you've secured a lot of your money to one guy, and you still have to get guys who can get on base and secure themselves in a more proper fashion.
Man, I'm going to say this right now.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew he was going to stay there. There was some hope that I was hoping he'd make free agency next year just to see where he would go. I think it would be fun, but I don't think he would have waited.
Yeah.
I think he would have signed right away because baseball is ridiculous in that sense. So, yeah, I mean.
Well, and he's not that type of guy.
No,
I don't
he's
think
not.
either. So.
But he also, his agent's not Boris.
True. Very true. Well, I mean, he's a guy where if you ever hear the guy do an interview, he knows what he wants to say. He knows what he wants to do. He's not going to hesitate on anything.
No, he's not.
And you know what? That's what really makes him a very smart baseball player, and that's what makes him so talented. And,
No, you're right.
I mean, that's why I love the fact that the dude's the face of baseball. I mean, look, do I like charismatic guys like Harper, yes, and Machado, absolutely, and Baez, and so many others that are out there that could be the face.
You talk highly of Baez.
Yeah, I do. I
Talk
like
high of your
I
Puerto
do, I
Rican
do.
brother.
But like, there's nobody that really resembles to me like perfection of a baseball or really of an athlete than
Chris
like
Bryant.
Mike Trout.
Really, if you want to talk about athlete, let's talk about the whole Cubs organization where everybody plays wherever Madden tells them to play, and they just do it.
Yeah, well,
like Trout, all these guys who thinks he's yes the face of baseball, but he plays one position.
Yeah, well, but you got to think he could probably could do multiple positions.
Bryant plays third base. He can play first base.
Yeah.
He can play outfield, which he's done several times. You have Zobrist who can play
Right.
second and center field or right field or
Yeah.
left field. You have Schwarber who can catch and play other positions.
Right.
Baez can play short, second. He basically plays the all field by himself.
and that's great and everything, but it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, but he just fits right in there.
He does.
He just
He
doesn't
does,
ever have to move.
But in my opinion,
know?
athlete
yeah.
should be someone who can play multiple positions.
Okay, fair.
At least if needed.
Yeah.
Like obviously Contreras has played first base when Rizzo's gone down, or they
Right.
brought up someone who could play first base.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it and you're like, well, you have pitchers who have played the outfield.
Yeah.
You have John Lester hitting bombs. You have Hayward. You have Schwarber who can catch and play left field. You have all these other players who can play. You have Happ out there now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, what are you doing? I mean, the big question always, again, for the Cubs is pitching, because I don't know what's wrong with you, Darvish, again. But
well,
whatever.
I mean, only time will tell. I mean, if Mike Trout moves to a different position at some point because of an emergency, I mean, then we'll be able to see. So if this guy plays lights out from, second base or shortstop, the assumption is he could probably play that position. He could probably pitch, I'm assuming. I mean, that guy's got a cannon on his arm.
Even though he would give up runs.
But he probably would.
Rizzo doesn't give up runs.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can let us know, what do you think about the Mike Trout deal? What do you think about the Angels? You guys can comment down below. Let us know about that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the program here.
Oakland has a playoff team right now.
What'd you say?
Oakland has a playoff team right now.
Oakland has a playoff team.
The A's are number 1 in the division.
God. All right. Well, so Tom, where can they find you, my man?
McLovin6193.
Okay.
Facebook or Instagram and Twitter. And, X-Bomb Sports.
Yes, absolutely. You guys can find me on Twitter at The Fluffy Guru. You can find me at The Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. Find us on Facebook, X-Bomb Sports. Just type it in. You'll be able to find us. Go to our Twitter, at X-Bomb Sports, capital X for the Twitter, at X-Bomb Sports, lowercase x for the Instagram as well. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube page, X-Bomb Productions. Give us a like. Send us some comments. Give us some questions. What do you guys want to hear from us? What do you guys want to hear us talk about? Things like that. Also, too, even though Kevin was not here today, I do want to make sure that the Respawncast gets its shout-out. So make sure to go check out the Respawncast every Tuesday and Friday. They'll be streaming live from twitch.tv. The Respawncast, again, you guys can find them streaming every Tuesday and every Friday. They're very funny. They do a lot of great stuff. I don't know what they're going to be streaming or if they're going to be streaming or not, but just make sure to go check them out. Give them a like, send them a follow, something like that. And I think that covers all the social media and things like that. So, all right, Tom's tired. I can definitely tell. He's worn out. And I'm worn out, too, because I got to go to work. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on this Tuesday. Much love. Peace out, Boom Crew. We'll see you next Wednesday.